So in spite of not really doing a huge amount of work towards my KDP income stream, it is growing, and I have somehow managed to end up 60% up on this time last year. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my March KDP income report. It is also going to include January and February as well, and a comparison with this time last year. I missed out January and February because I had decided that I was going to do these KDP income reports every month, and then I just didn't. So they are here now in a quarterly report instead. Now, if you are here looking for someone who's making big numbers on KDP, that is not me. If you are interested in making kind of slow and steady progress with KDP income, then this could be the right place for you. I also make other videos about my other income streams. I make work from home lifestyle vlogs. If any or all of that sounds like your cup of tea, then make sure you hit subscribe. Now, let's get into this income report and see exactly what has happened. Okay, so here are a few things to start with. These are the types of things that I get asked about in comments on previous income reports. So I have 112 live published books. You will see when you see the screenshots of my KDP dashboard that it looks like I've got, I think, 140 something on there. I've made 140 odd books, but I have unpublished and archived a good many of them. The majority of those that have been unpublished have been ones where they were dated, so dated diaries for 2022. They have all been archived now because no one's going to be buying them. I also archived a handful of some pretty terrible notebooks that I made right at the beginning of my KDP journey. It wasn't many, maybe 3 or 4 of those are in the mix as well. Over the course of Q1, I think I've added about 5. I've had a look on my bookshelf and kind of looked through them, and I'm pretty sure I've added 5 across the 3 months. So that's not very many. Like I said in the intro, I'm fairly part-time on KDP, but because I'm starting to show some signs of progress, I am thinking of blitzing KDP in April and May of this year. The thing that I spend money on at the moment is Canva Pro. I am checking out another business tool at the moment, and I will let you know how I get on with that. It's something that I hope is going to help me with my research into niches and things. I don't run any Amazon ads. I experimented with them in the past for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. I think I spent a total of about £12, about $15. I didn't know what I was doing. It was costing me a lot of money. I think whatever I was doing it wrong. It didn't result in any sales. Amazon ads are not for me at the moment. I have experimented with a few Pinterest pins over the course of Q1. Probably about 10 of them, I would say, covering maybe 2 or 3 different scrapbook paper books. I haven't really gone into the account to check to see whether anything's been repinned or not. I've been very slack with it. It's something that I do want to pick up on again. And also, like most KDP sellers, I'm not going to be showing you my designs. I've already got some copycats on some of my scrapbook paper that is selling not even brilliantly well, but selling quite well and selling regularly, and there's already a little bit of copying going on there. Let's get into some facts and figures then, into some numbers. So January of last year I made £73.41. I do start showing the amounts in dollars as we go through this as well, but we're starting off in my home currency, which is the Great British Pound. £73.41. You can see from the bar chart there are loads and loads of no sales days. Most of my money came from some dated diaries that I was selling with like a $4 royalty on them. So that's why the number is fairly high compared to sort of the number of books that have clearly been sold. This year it's £82.96, so not a huge jump, I'm sure you'll agree. But I didn't have any of those high royalty diaries this year. It's all been replaced with scrapbook paper, other types of decorative paper, and like since this time last year I think there's been some more notebooks that have been added as well. So it is a little bit more, which is pleasing, and then it's really pleasing to have kind of compensated for not doing those diaries again. I decided I just didn't want to make books every year that weren't then going to sit there and sell for years to come. It just didn't seem worth my time. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. In dollars then, That's $102.73. The thing that I also really like is there are far fewer no sales days. If you look across this bar chart, it looks pretty good in that sense. There's only a handful of days where I haven't sold a single book. And as much as I encourage people to try and find something else about this business to motivate you, so it's not just the sales that are motivating, at the same time, there is nothing like a sale to kind of get you motivated. So the fact that in January, every time I was checking my dashboard, I'd made a sale, it was really exciting and it was really good. And seeing that happen more regularly now is why I'm thinking I really should just knuckle down and get loads and loads of books made, but good books. Okay, February last year then, £29.07. And if you look at that bar chart, it's horrific. I didn't make a single sale in the whole second half of February last year, and the sales that are in the first part of February, quite a few of those were just a few stragglers of those diaries that were being sold. So yeah, February was a complete disaster. This year it's looking better. Again, still not great. This is what I mean by very slow and steady progress. It's better than last February. It's about double last February. If we take a look at this in dollars, you can see that it's about $70. Also, if you watch my channel more broadly, you'll know that I'm experimenting with lots of different income streams and trying to get them all up to around the £100 mark. So that's about $120. And I think what my KDP income stream is sort of screaming at me is that it's definitely one that I could fairly easily get up to £100 a month. And then at that point, review whether I want to build it up any further. $70. Let's now take a look at March. Right, so March of last year was horrific. It was so bad. So £20, just in dollars off the top of my head, is probably about $25, $26. Really bad. The number of no sales days is horrific. What else can I say? March of this year, again, fairly steady, over double of March last year. It's really consistent, which I like. It's pretty much the same as the previous month. It's about $70 again, which is fantastic. And again, those no sales days are slowly and steadily disappearing. And that's an incredible step forward as well. My quarter one total then is £199.07. That's $243.53. And it represents, where I've kind of grouped it together there, 62% year-on-year growth. It's not huge. I haven't exactly doubled my money or anything, but it's still slow and steady progress in the right direction. And considering kind of how little I've put into it, compared, I think, to some other people, I'm pleased. I'm not going to give up. I think that's the thing. Am I ecstatically, jumping up and down and trying to tell everyone that this is absolutely wonderful and this is brilliant? No. But I think what it's showing me is that there is huge potential. And as you'll see in a moment, there are certain types of book that I make that seem to sell reasonably well, certainly steadily. And I tend to sell a few copies every month, which for me is progress. And the more and more I lean into researching properly, the better and better my sales are. And yes, that's on a fairly small scale at the moment, but I can really see and feel the difference. Let's take a look at the types of book that have sold best for me over Q1. If you've watched any of my previous income reports, this is the part where you'll see quite a lot of shifting about in terms of what types of book are selling best for me. You can see in 10th place, we've got colouring book, 9th place, a scrapbook paper book, 8th place, a lined notebook. In 7th and 6th place is another 2 scrapbook paper books. And then if you look at my top 5, look at what has happened. In 5th place, I have a lined notebook. This notebook sells well for me all year round, and I'd say probably makes me about £100 a year, and it's just a steady seller. I would imagine that eventually it's going to drop off my top 10 list, as well as the scrapbook paper kind of takes over in 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st place. This scrapbook paper, whilst again I'm not making hundreds or thousands of pounds or dollars a month. It's completely transformed this income stream for me. They are steady sellers, and if you watch a previous video that I've made, basically like nearly every scrapbook that I upload makes a sale, and the majority of them make a few sales over the course of, you know, a couple of months. And then I've just got the odd one here or there. As you can see, we've got 4 of them that are selling really consistently every month, at least consistently for me, in the context of what I'm doing here with my KDP income stream. So yes, definitely more scrapbook paper, I think. And finally, we're going to come on to my goals in April. I am going to create 10 more decorative paper books. So predominantly scrapbook paper. There are a few other types of decorative paper niche that I'm looking into, and I've published 1 book that hasn't sold yet, but you know, fingers crossed it will. So create 10 more of some sort of decorative paper books. The other thing that I really need to do is get on top of this A+ content, particularly for the decorative paper, but also I've got some colouring books that I think are pretty decent and they sell every now and again, and I think if I actually put a bit more information onto Amazon about them, that could give them a little bit of a boost. It won't hurt to try this. So 10 more books, A+ content. I'm still going through the process of adding a lot of my designs to print on demand platforms as well. So I've got a little list of them on here: Redbubble, Society 6, trying to set up an Etsy printable paper shop as well. I'm kind of at the very early stages of these, so I need to keep chipping away at them basically in April. I need to add a mailing list sign up to all of my existing books, as well as remembering to kind of add it into my books moving forward. An author central page, 6 more notebooks. I have said in previous videos, even though they're not big sellers for me, I am still going to put out some notebooks from time to time, simply because I find them very therapeutic to make. They don't take very long and they break up bigger projects, especially when I get really bogged down in a slightly bigger or more complicated book. Just rattling off a few notebooks it's just really, really good for my mindset when I'm approaching my KDP work. 10 more decorative paper books, 6 more notebooks, and then also experiment properly with Pinterest. I've also put Instagram on there as well, try and give that a go. But yeah, go back into that Pinterest account that I created, have a look at those pins, see if anything is being clicked on, and you know, try and create some more, possibly some video pins as well. I kind of know my way around Pinterest up to a point, because I used to use it years and years ago when I had a crochet blog, and this was a long time ago. So it was the very kind of early stages of Pinterest, and it means that I sort of know my way around, even though there have obviously been a lot of updates and changes. And yeah, I need to get on top of, you know, making video pins and things like that. They're all things that are completely doable. I just have to, you know, focus and get them done. Now, I am making a further video which has a much broader scope in terms of giving you all of my goals and things for Q2 and for April across all of my different income streams. So if you're interested in how I'm building an online income just in general, all the different things that I'm doing, then make sure you are subscribed and you've hit the notification bell, because that video will be coming up very soon as well. And I will see you again in the next video.